And welcome back. So, this is going to be part two now, and we're still talking about last week's comics. This particular installment, we're going to kind of run down pretty much the other four that I was talking about. I know that we only got to that one because, the tangent. Um, but okay, so right now we're going to talk about the latest issue of Brightest Day number 17. Here we have DC's been kind of rolling out these kind of really simple covers this last week, and they probably will in the weeks to come. This is obviously Firestorm, because he's a big part of Brightest Day, as well as Deadman and Hawk and Dove, and Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Martian Manhunter. These guys are all big characters in the Brightest Day mythology here. So this was another really good issue. I mean, Jeff Johns, he's good, man. He rocks it. He brings his A game pretty much every time. Peter and Peter Tomasi, who does who co-writes Brightest Day with him, because Peter Tomasi also he writes Green Lantern Corps. Johns does Green Lantern, Tomasi does Green Lantern Corps. So they're pretty well. They work well together as a team. So, and the arts by Ivan Reis or Ivan Reis. I have no idea how to pronounce his name, but also by I'm sorry. Ardian Syaf, Scott Clark, and Joe Prado. Anyway, so you pretty much guarantee good interior art, when, especially when anything's done by Ivan Reis or Ivan Reis or however you pronounce his name. This issue focuses a lot more on the tensions that are growing between Hawkman and not between Hawkman / Hawkgirl and Hawkgirl's mother. It also explores more of what is going on with Firestorm, because last time we were left with a pretty big cliffhanger as to what Firestorm may or may not have done with the universe. Obviously, it's not destroyed, but where he ends up is pretty much a surprise. And the other big surprise that I thought was, hey, Deadman and Dove are bumping uglies. So that was weird for me. But also Deadman explores the relationships that he had while he was alive, and didn't think that he would really get to do again now that he's alive again. And it ends with and Star Sapphire plays a pretty significant role in this issue as well. It's cool that the Star Sapphire. I mean, that all of the lanterns, all of the spectrum of all the spectrums of light, that they've all got their own kind of main character, and they've all been very, very well developed over the course of the last couple of years since Johns really took the reins of Green Lantern. So that's good issue. Again, it continues to be a really thought-provoking comic, and an entertaining read. Brightest Day has been a really good ride so far, and it's bi-weekly, so you can't really go too wrong with that. I mean, especially with everything else that these guys are cranking out every month. I mean, Jeff Johns is writing like 10 billion things at a time. Not as much as Bendis is, but because he's got like 6 titles on his table at once. But anyway, Brightest Day, number 17, another good read. So now we're going to move on to to one of the number ones that came out this week, and that is Batman Beyond number 1. Now, Batman Beyond, as some of you know, obviously was created specifically for the WB family entertainment. It was a WB cartoon for a while, and it was very much in the style of the Batman animated adventures, the Justice League cartoons, but with a little extra edge to it. The opening theme to Batman Beyond, the opening kind of the opening sequence of each episode of Batman Beyond is probably, if not certainly one of the strongest opening sequences to any cartoon that I've ever seen. Because it's just really cool. It kind of came on the heels, it's kind of a little Seven-ish, if you will. But anyway, Batman Beyond, it was a limited series for a while. They did 6 issues of a limited series. It sold so well that they decided, hey, let's do a full series. Let's do an unlimited run, and that's cool for me because I love the Batman Beyond universe. And now that it's there was a Batman Beyond comic before, but it really was kind of more for kids, and this is definitely for it's definitely reaching a more adult audience, I think, now, because it's Batman. I mean, you can't just Batman for kids, just as a comic is a terrible idea as far as the Batman that we know, and this is definitely pretty much the Batman we know. So this is Adam Beechin, I believe, is the writer on this series. It doesn't say, at least not anywhere that I found. I don't know, let me just check the last. I'm sorry, yeah. Adam Beechin and Ryan Benjamin is the penciler. And this is a Darwin Cook cover. I believe it is, anyway. Damn it. Gotta keep going through this stuff. I'm sorry, it's a variant. So this particular cover was Dustin Nguyen, who is currently working on Batman Streets of Gotham with Paul Dini. So another great artist. But this is, it comes off to a pretty good start here. It reintroduces the Justice League that you may have saw in the 2 episodes, the 2-episode arc of Batman Beyond the cartoon called The Call. So you have, the little kid Green Lantern. You have Warhawk, who is the child of the John Stewart Green Lantern and Hawkgirl. There's no Superman here because he turned out to be kind of a bad guy in The Call. But you got some of the other peripheral characters to that. And it introduces a new bad guy who is basically, he's and this is, it's an interesting tack to put on here because he was basically a CSU for metahuman crime. He worked forensics for metahuman crime, and because of everything that he's been exposed to over the years, all the chemicals and so on and so forth, he's now dying. And so he's naturally pissed off at metahumans, especially superheroes. So he breaks into a vault, grabs the Matter Master's wand, who I believe was a character that was introduced in the Batman Beyond universe, and now is wreaking havoc. And it just happens to be in the mall where Terry McGinnis's mom and younger brother are. So, what's a guy to do? Obviously, Batman Beyond was just such a cool idea from the beginning, and that it's getting more of an adult treatment now, I think, is even stronger. So, definitely a really good first issue for jumping on. Go back and watch the series. It's on Hub, which is a new cable channel, and it's a great series, and you should definitely check it out. But this comic series also is worth checking out. So we're going to be back with the last 2 of my comics, and I swear to God I'm done for the evening, okay? So we'll see you in just a few.